Long live John Africa.
On the move! It's a move organization.
Federal and local prosecutors in Philadelphia hoped they could put MOVE away forever. They did not succeed.
MOVE sympathizers are celebrating the acquittal of their leader, Vincent Leapart, also known as John Africa. Leapart was asked how he felt when the verdict was read.
Nothing. I was asleep.
What are your plans in terms of staying in Philadelphia, in terms of trying to continue the MOVE cult?
It's not a cult. It's an organization.
After the 1978 shootout, MOVE essentially set up shop at a new headquarters, which was at 6221 Osage Avenue in far west Philadelphia.
A special unit of police positioned themselves to serve warrants on MOVE members.
The police at our door, they're saying, get out, you have to evacuate. We're going to have a police action here on your block. Just take a change of clothes. We're going to protect your belongings. You'll be back in 24 hours. If you don't leave, you're going to be arrested.
After the trial, MOVE members not in prison took up residence in a black middle-class neighborhood a couple of miles from their Powelton Village shootout.
We had a community of all kinds of people that we all supported each other, we all intermingled, we shared our thoughts, our concerns. Because for each one of us, we wanted to raise our standard of living. In 1978, there was a confrontation between the MOVE organization and the city of Philadelphia. Some of the MOVE people were arrested and sent to jail. Their children had nowhere to go. Miss Louise James, whose brother founded MOVE, allowed those children to come and live in her home so that they could be cared for. We respected that about Miss James.
But in the summer of 1983, a second MOVE confrontation started to take shape.
Our first confrontation with the MOVE people really came about with the children.
The kids were like little animals. They just threw something on them as far as clothes, because I've given them clothes. As far as food, at one time they were eating under the garbage cans.
First, the neighbors complained about children eating out of their garbage cans and about stray dogs, roaches, and smell.
The first big problem we had was the raw meat that they kept outside. It was a big, you could imagine a big tin of raw, bloody meat sitting outside of your house.
Then we had to contend with things inside our house. Bugs that you couldn't do anything about them. I mean, they just totally, the bugs took over our house, My children woke up in the middle of the night from bug bites, crying from things biting them in their beds.
There were also stories of verbal and physical attacks.
Mo Africa, he ran and punched me in the back of my head.
What did they say they were going to do to you?
They said they were going to kick my door in, rape my wife, and kill my children.
And they would name people by name, and my family was named as part of those people that they threatened to kill.
We had tried all the other methods, exterminating methods, called people in, and we decided to put sulfur bombs down, actually leave the house for a day and put sulfur bombs down. Being a good neighbor, I went to MOVE people. I spoke to Conrad first about it. He went completely berserk. The bugs are our brothers and sisters. If you exterminate the bugs, you exterminate us. But they told me if I set those bombs off, that when the revolution started, our doors would be the first ones would be kicked in some kind of way our family would be first to go.
This city did nothing to stop these people.
All they got were promises.
They told us what we wanted to hear. The city officials, we will take care of this problem. Don't worry about it. Let's don't get nothing going until Mayor Good gets elected.
All of us, from all neighborhoods, from all walks of life, white, black.
Wilson Good was Philadelphia's first black mayor. His election seemed to signal a departure from the past.
Together can solve the problem facing our city.
Black neighborhoods that had been politically written off had reason to be optimistic. MOVE had different ideas. A few weeks before Good's inauguration, they boarded up their house and mounted a bullhorn outside.
Me and the wife heard all this banging. We couldn't understand what it was. And they began to board the front of the house. From that day on, it was like night and day. The loudspeakers went up in the spring of '84.
All of a sudden, they became very combative. They became very militant. They became dangerous, actually.
You could not imagine. It's one thing to be 2 blocks away and hear it, but to live right next door, full blast in our bedroom.
It was Christmas Eve, 1983.
And I went to bed, and about 1 o'clock, I said, oh my gosh, I got a rowdy block, child, you know, I got a rowdy block. And you could hear voices, but then I opened the window, and the first thing I heard was MF Santa Claus. I said, what the heck? It was MF Santa Claus.
Concerning the use of the bullhorn and the use of profanity, well, it's unfortunate that our confronting the system in the way that we did was to impose on their rights, but certainly it wasn't. In fact, it was to ensure them.
I went over to the Move House and talked with Frank James and Conrad and Teresa and Rhonda Africa about what their reason was to have all of this confusion on our block. They said, well, we are trying to get our people who are in jail unjustly because of the Powelton Village incident in 1978. They said, we want to get them released. They said, if we make you angry enough as residents, as our neighbors, then City Hall has got to respond.
On Memorial Day of 1984, 15 Osage Avenue residents went down to City Hall to meet with the mayor.
When we had a meeting with the mayor, we all went out there. I know right then in my heart, I know there wasn't nothing he was going to do for us. Because he said to us, why can't you all deal with it? It's black on black. He didn't want to deal with us at all. He had just like we was a bunch of bombs sitting there, and he was talking to a bunch of bombs.
That's the feeling you got?
That's the feeling I got. And I think we all got that same feeling.
That he was talking down to you?
Right. He didn't even want to talk to us.
We were wasting his time.
We wasted his time that Sunday morning.
I don't know how to solve a problem at this point. I cannot, as mayor of the city, take an illegal action in order to begin to deal with the concerns of a block.
With the city not taking action, MOVE continued to put pressure on the neighbors. In the fall of 1984, they went so far as to construct a fortified bunker on their roof, complete with gun portals and a new and larger bullhorn.
This is unreal. I have to deal with this, And at that point, Cliff and us got together. We're going to have a news conference. Then we're going to do something. We got to get bats and guns and do something our damn selves because we were fed up by that point. Enough was enough. We had waited a whole year and watched them build this stupid bunker up there, dragging logs and trees all the park up the street to fortify this place, and nobody done anything. With the police right there, 24 hours a day, watching everything that goes on.
Is it a confrontation?
It most certainly is a confrontation, one strategized by John Africa years and years and years ago.
There's been talk that there are explosives in this house. Is there any truth to that?
That's only people's, hallucination because they have not been inside this house, so they would not know what is in this house. What is in this house is the strategy of John Africa that is very explosive.
In the spring of 1985, the neighbors, fed up, called upon the governor of Pennsylvania for help. Mayor Good was forced to take action. Like Mayor Rizzo before him, he turned the matter over to the police.
The final point I gave to the police commissioner was take your time, prepare a good plan.
On Mother's Day, May 12th, the police evacuated the neighborhood and told residents they could return in 24 hours.
But I was told to leave because you don't know what the extent of this is going to be,
What do you think?
I think, believe it or not, I think you'll have to kill all of them.